Thanks for joining me today. This is Pastor Theresa, and we're walking free. I hope you've been walking free, some of you that have been tuning into this. But today I'm going to share with those of you who may have left an abusive situation, your soul prison, have gotten out of it, but it's such a journey toward healing. There's so many aspects and so many parts of it. But especially if you're in the early stages of having left, because our minds and emotions are not well at this point. In the beginning, we can't decipher all the different voices in our head. The new ones we're listening to that are trying to help us on this healing journey, and the ones that we've been accustomed to for the years of abuse through it all. I mean, it's madness trying to understand the emotions that we have when our minds were taken hostage for so long. We actually lose our identity. It's identity theft. We were kept from being ourselves in the abuser's company. And I realized that so much when I would go to work outside the home. I worked in a hospital and began to realize that I was different there. People saw me different, responded to me differently, talked to me differently. I wasn't totally my real self, but it felt good to be seen and included and have my opinions taken and considered and just one of the team. After long periods of control, we will come to believe the lies told to us, the lies told about us. We can get to questioning ourselves, well, it must be true. But then when we get out of that prison camp, the soul prison camp, and as time goes on, we confuse the heaviness and discomfort, calling it unforgiveness toward the abuser. But as time passes and our healed eyes begin to open, it's not unforgiveness or our inability to forgive and to forget what all happened to us. It's actually grief. We're grieving. We're going through a grieving process. You may not think that's part of the healing in something like this, but it is, because we're mourning, grieving the person we thought they were, the abuser, and the bond that we thought we had with him, the future we thought we were going to have pictured in our minds together. We grieve because we're accepting all those predicted seasons in our life, and it's a future that's gone that we thought we would have. It's expired because we chose this unhealthy situation. I poured myself out to people who turned around and cursed my name. I felt the sting of abandonment, the weight of betrayal, the slow breaking when realizing some of the wounds came from hands I once held. Some were close family members, some were extended family, some friends, some church family. And why these? Because they don't see the truth. They don't know what's really going on. They don't see what goes on behind closed doors, behind the perfect-looking house, yard, family, kids, dog, all of the things. But even our church, it's hard when you can't see inside the prison walls. But the Lord can. The Lord is because He's in there the whole time with us. He is always with us. He is in us, Christ our hope. Thank goodness for that. Colossians 1:27, Christ our hope is in us. We're never alone through all of this. We feel it. But through every fracture, the Lord stands beside us. He's taken every loss, every disappointment, every sleepless night, and He uses it to pull us closer to His heart. Politics will fail us. Success will flatter us and then fade. Applause will echo for a moment, then vanish. And people, even the ones we love the most, can change their minds. They can change with the wind. But the Lord does not move. He does not change. He is our anchor, our refuge, our steady place in the world built on sand. I can testify that He got me out of bondage, on the path, the mission that He has for me. Some of my deepest worship came from those nights, those dark nights that I didn't think I would survive. My chest felt tight. My prayers were just broken whispers as I told God I couldn't take it anymore. I didn't feel strong, didn't feel any hope or faith, but somehow worship started putting down roots in a place that I thought darkness was going to swallow me whole. That's where heaven met me, close to the floor, in the dark corner. That's where God held me when Sunday services couldn't. or fellow believers wouldn't. Somehow our most fragile place becomes the most honest offering to God. Matthew 28:20, Jesus said, "Remember that I am always with you until the end of time." And he is. Always means always. We've never been alone one moment in that. We've never been unloved a single moment through everything in our life. Since the day we're born, we've never lived one unloved moment because we are precious to him. We don't have to feel his presence for him to be there or to know he's there. He is there. He's watching, working, receiving our unspoken prayers with tears that he keeps. He keeps our tears to, again, redeem us from all of this. And he has. He has brought me to a place. He has restored some years to me thinking that when this happened to me, when I found the time and found the way to break away from my soul prison, he gave me that strength. But I'm realizing that when I got away from it, in my mid-50s, and there was grieving there, thinking, now what? What can I do? Look at all this time that's gone in my life. But he restores. And I've had more life in the last almost 20 years than what was taken from me. But have that purpose. Love yourself enough. Feel your worth toward him. Let him work. I finally got enough courage for my children's sake. I did not want to see my children going through any of this any further than what they had as small children, because they had their whole lives ahead of them. So they were my biggest motivation. And then dealt with the religious problems and guilt and all of that later in my healing journey. But I broke that and got my children out of there. But think of yourself as worth enough if you don't have the children. And then my children now have lives filled with hope and freedom, and their children will have. So I encourage you to stay with it. Stay with it. Find someone you can trust to lean on and confide in during this time, during this healing journey. And I will see you next week, and we'll continue on this some more. And I look forward to you being healed, becoming whole, and testimonies.